Well, that's what people do. That's the comfort complacency thing that I was talking about. Love her through it, give her grace.
Yeah.
Like you got to use your super strength here that you have now, right? In your head, in your heart, and the direction you want to go to just get her through it. She is not doing a program like you. Uh, I'm going to summarize it like this. You're starting to take some time for you, focus on you in the direction. We're just entering this phase, and she's pissed. Your wife's pissed because, well, I'm going to summarize it like she's not a priority. But what else do you want to add to that at all before we get into it? I read your text messages and stuff, your screenshots and stuff.
Yeah, I guess one thing I would add to it is before I went for the run this morning, a lot of times it's like she says she doesn't want to talk, like that she's not ready, which is fine. And I've learned this over years of being with her. I was always the type when we had a fight, I was like, oh my God, we gotta talk about it. We gotta fix it. Don't go to bed angry. And she hates that. She's just like basically and she told me that years later. She's like, when I say I need a little time, like I need time and you need to respect that. So I've been much better over the last year and I've been being really good the last few days about it. But it's funny how she'll say, she's not ready to talk about it, but then she'll throw some little dig at you, as she's walking away, like, or she'll say something that's like, she clearly does want to talk about it, but she does, and then it's like, I'll start to, and then she kind of invited me in, like, how do I describe what happened? So it's almost like she basically wanted me, okay, she said something and I said, hey, I think you took the text out of context and I would love to explain it when you're ready. And, she kind of blew up and like, you don't fucking care about me and yada, yada, like, why would you don't even care? And I'm like, so I walked in the bedroom. I was like, I care about you more than you realize. Like, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to do something for me. And she just blew up and that's when she blew up. And
because she wasn't ready yet. Right. Which you knew. But yet you're still going back to that guy that you just mentioned. I'm trying to fix it, right? Which is what you recognize. So first and foremost, good job for recognizing it. I want you to pay attention to this real quick. Society lied to her too. Society told her that you have to communicate through everything. Society told her that we shouldn't go to bed angry. Society told her that communication is key, just like society shared all these things with you. So there's a lot that's gone into this as you guys have stacked up the habits over the years, okay? But understanding that, think about what you've learned with the reset. Think about how we need her to be in a safe place so that she can feel. So as soon as we start to get defensive, which essentially that's really what you're doing is, I love the quick explanation. No, babe, I care about you more than you'll ever know. But that's where it would end. And I think that's important because especially with this topic, with you leaving, with you doing more for yourself, with you finding new energy that's positive, all of that is, or even when you just think about fighting, all of that's when we forget sometimes to say, hey, babe, I love you. You know what I mean? Simply not saying you're totally getting this wrong. You're reading it out of context. And part of that text, maybe she was, and part of that text, maybe she wasn't, right? I mean, it depends what her vibe was. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Do you remember when I said to you, don't let your anxiety guide you? This is literally not a bad thing. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Not her reaction, and also not what you're trying to do. Remember, we didn't make changes with the schedule. You going out with your buddy was the first thing. You're going to come up today. We're going to do some real good dig into purpose on the live training today for you guys. So hopefully you can make it. Otherwise, watch the recording. But
I'll be there.
Awesome. Because I think a lot of you guys are struggling with that. When we do that, that is for ourselves, for our energy. This is not a manipulation tactic like some of the guys that would teach that out there online, right? The bottom line is you're not getting everything that you need at home. When you're being patient, you're showing up. You guys have come so much closer by taking yourself off the table. I mean, by spending, because right now, up until now, currently, you're spending every night together. You're doing everything together whenever you can. It's the I'm so available and ready for you. The reason why I say it's not a bad thing is what she doesn't understand, what you haven't figured out yet is it's not about not being available for her. It's literally about finding the energy that you need, because while you're being patient and loving her through this new understanding that, oh, my husband doesn't have any expectations. Oh, my husband's just showing up as a true partner. Oh, my husband is actually letting me feel, which, by the way, this is one of these wonderful opportunities right now. Okay. It's confusing. Because even though you started making changes a year ago and dramatically in the last few months, we have all that history between you and her, right? So when we aren't getting everything we want because we're being patient, right? We can't expect it to happen overnight sometimes. So that's why I want you to go find things that you love. That's why I want you to. But in that process, she's going to be possibly extremely angry like this, even without the text. Now, there's something else, dude. She's obviously insecure. She's seeing the messages pop up on your iPad and she's reading them. If I see Catherine's phone or she sees mine, we're not looking at each other's phones. That's the old days, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to encourage you that it's what we talked about a couple weeks ago, where she is recognizing the changes. She's trying to justify they're not real, which is the expectation thing. Oh, he doesn't expect me. I don't have to be physical. She's trying to learn and understand and process that. So that's all good. But remember, I said she might start to feel guilty. She's not being a good enough wife. Well, part of that equation would be in the understanding that she knows she should be there for you. She should want to be there for you. Part of that is going to be the insecurity of, well, what if I can't do that? Like, she hasn't got to the point of what do I need to do? We talked about growth. You weren't sure if she's doing some work on her own yet. And I said that could be a good conversation. Hold. But in that thought process, there's a lot to worry about. My husband's a badass. He's awesome. He's treating me with so much respect, love, adoration. He's fun. He's not overall upset or anything, pouty, frustrated if I'm not intimate. He actually remember he did the rap. It wasn't perfect, but he did the half rap and you're trying to figure out how she felt. Even though it wasn't perfect, she can tell that's different, Greg. So if you're up here and she knows she's not meeting you yet, in this case, physically with the intimacy, she's having those awkward looks. She knows it. She knows she's making those expressions. She knows she's pushing you away. You brought it up in the rapport as well. And so all that's going to do is make her feel like, oh, crap. Like, I'm not meeting his needs. I'm not doing it. She's going through the process. We're going to love her through that. But the moment you start to step out and go get what you need, I need some life force. I need some energy. I don't want to sit here another night available, feeling down about myself. When you're doing so great, you're showing up, you step out, not of the marriage, obviously, which is somehow what she showed there with her message, right? You're not doing that at all. You're going out with your buddy, talking to another buddy, and it's clear. But you can see how the insecurity of, if I'm not doing what I need to be doing, which is the work on her to get to the next level, not the physical intimacy side, then she's starting to fear, right? She's starting to wonder. So she throws in this crappy comment about you possibly doing whatever you're doing with whomever. I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but it's an insecurity, right?
It was definitely like, yeah, Pete and I were talking. It was like, it clearly seemed like she grasped onto, she could tell I've been a little bit more distant. And I will, if I could like self-reflect, I would say the last like week when I was being a little more distant, I noticed myself pulling away some of the lover player stuff, and I needed to keep that up at a higher level while I was doing the other thing. And I think that the two things happening at the same time kind of made it just feel even worse for her. So I get that, and I recognize that. Like I get it 100%, because I even said it, a week ago. I was talking to Ryan, I think, and I was like, man, I'm struggling with not necessarily the yes tone, but just that same like level of, I guess you could, the yes tone, just that flirty, fun part, because I was just like trying to do more of my own thing, and she got all weird one day. She's like, well, where are you going? I was like, well, I got, we're not doing anything. I'd go down to the boat. I'm going to get some work done for tomorrow. I either got to do it now or I got to do it later. I mean,
you're talking too much too. You're talking too much. You're trying to explain it and fix it, even though it's not broken yet. Right. You just had a really powerful reflection, right? In the reset, remember, we go through each pillar, right? So when we become a man with purpose, become a highly valuable dude, the point of that is when you guys are together, the quality time is through the roof, right? So when you're a man at play, and you are an incredible lover, player, magnet, okay? Well, we'll leave the magnet out of it, because the magnet is you moving here. But if you think about it like this, the point is oh, and I'm still a priority, even though he's so valuable, right? And what happens is it's a little bit overwhelming. First of all, time with a calendar and schedules. Second of all, the anxiety you feel with her reactions. Well, where are you? Right. First, she was curious, right? Well, what do you mean you're going out with your buddy? Because she's used to one thing, not the other, right? So communicating effectively is a man with impact, but in a not a secretive way, but like you don't have to try to solve it, fix it, worry about her mood. What time is it? The what time is it lesson, right? And then we bring that lover and player in so that when you are together, she can start to relax. Doesn't mean that she will immediately, Greg, at all. But that's a powerful reflection. So what could you do differently now? Knowing, forget this, we'll fix this in a second, but what could you do differently going forward when we have our purposes, we have our calendar, we're a highly valuable dude? Do you think you can be more of a lover? Do you think you can be more of a player? Can you amp up the quality time when you are together? Not when she's not going to engage. Don't worry about that. You're still going to be a lover. You're still going to invite as a player, right? But can you do that? Can you pull that back in and do it all at once?
For sure. Yeah, I just need to focus on it a little bit. It was just hard for me, I guess, a little bit there to try and, excuse me, was to have that same level of energy, but then also kind of have that in the back of my mind of like, well, I'm distancing myself because I'm not getting what I think I deserve. So I'm going to go do something for me that makes me not, I don't want to say like makes me happy, because it's not that I'm not happy. It's just something that's, I don't know, just I feel like I'm stuck. I'm like stuck in this
energy.
Like, yeah, it's the energy.
It's energy, dude. And so
it's not bad energy, but it's not positive. It's just like neutral.
Well, of course, because no matter what, you feel a little lonely when it's not progressing to the next level. You guys have come so close and changed so much, right? So it's frustrating, it's hard, and it's kind of lonely when you feel like you're the only one, because at this point, as far as I can tell, you are the only one, right?
Oh, it's
you're the one.
I feel like she's regressed recently. Like it's almost like what happened this morning. So when I went back to try and, like I said, she had I'd said, I kept trying to keep it short. It was just like, hey, when you're ready to talk, I'd love to talk about it. And then she threw something out, and of course then I'd say for act, I was like, well, I'm pretty sure you're taking the text out of context. And then she said something to me, and she's like, well, I can't hear you. And so of course then I walked back there to the bedroom and said something again. She's like, I can't hear you. So I opened the bathroom door, said it again, and it was just like one of those, it's like she wanted me to say something. And so and I shouldn't have, but I was like, hey, trying to remember what I said exactly. It was, she basically took the whole idea of the text, and she basically called me out. I basically said, hey, I was trying to do something for me. Like I'm trying to go do something for me, hanging out with Joe and whatever. And she basically just completely turned around. She's like, what are you fucking talking about? Our whole relationship, you've always just done what you wanted to do. Like I'm never a priority. So it's almost like she made it seem like
she did.
Like that I have been doing this forever, that, I already barely have enough time for it. Now I'm just going to do this. And probably in her mind, she's thinking I'm doing it in spite of because I'm not giving you sex. That's why he's going to do that.
100%. But she's also ramming into the side of your car, dude. Like
hard.
Literally, you're letting her lead you. The way to have this hard conversation, it's hard for her, by the way, because you're doing nothing wrong. Okay. But the way to have it is to not go chase her, try to solve it, to fix it. The way to have it is when she starts to sweep it under the rug, if that's what happens, you go, I think we have to address that text message. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready, babe.
Yeah.
Firm, assertive, we don't go try to chase her. We don't go, so for example, I can't hear you. No problem. When you're ready, come on out.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of how I was yesterday. I don't know why I allowed myself with her.
Because you're
it's not like
now.
she was, I know. Yeah. And it just seemed, it's almost like the things she says, it's almost like she wants to have that conversation, but then you can tell as soon as you kind of roll into it, boom, she goes into triggered and attack mode. And that's why I was like, hey, I'm not going to have this conversation in like this. I said, when you're ready, I want to have the conversation, but I was like, we're not. I was like, not right now. And she's like, that's when she kind of yelled, like, well, I can have it if you want to have the conversation like this. And I was like, nope, no, I'm good. So I went for a run. I was like, I'm going to take the dog for a run. I said, have a good day.
This is a great example of where you go, no, babe, I'm really good. I love you, but now doesn't look like it's the right time for us. You know, I'm going to go for a run. I'll see you. And you just go do your thing, right? This is when we provide the structure. This is what leadership is about. You know, people get all messed up with how I talk about leading because Catherine and I, we both lead each other. Strengths carry weakness. But the mood, the energy, the tone, that's what we do. That's our job as men, to be in our masculine, to let her cry on our shoulder. But she still has to be ready. We don't have to take the poop. Now, the difference is you're at the stage where you can do this. Most guys, or even earlier this year, you know, you wouldn't have been ready for it yet.
No.
But the stuff that she talked about with priority is not real. It's false. You 100% love your wife. In fact, you've been too available, which is why we are trying to get you into you. And it's for that energy that you deserve. You know, everybody in the world gets told you have to meet your own needs. Well, the one that we can't is physical intimacy with our wife. Like, come on, right? So what we do is we take things like purpose or kids, whatever, and we go get that same sort of energy from the other things in our life to try to balance that out while we're being patient with our wife and loving her through it. But because the tendency is to go back to the nice guy and try to fix everything, because we don't like that pit in our stomach, right now it's the next morning and it's still going on, we go back to the old habits. Now, it sounds like you're a lot better, but what we want to do is be a man with impact, be way more in control of what we're doing, what we're saying, and how we're saying it, so that we can provide that structure. I wouldn't even look at this like stat, dude, literally, right?
Yeah.
You can. I'm not having this conversation, babe. It looks like you're not ready, you know, or we're not ready is how I said it earlier because it's a little bit safer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you, babe. I love you. I'm going to go for a run, okay? See you, babe. Yeah. You can even smack her on the ass. This is, in your situation, would seem terrifying because she's not, that's pushing her away. It's an awkward look. But what are you doing? You're letting her know that I want to talk to you. I'm not affected by your mood. You can have your mood. I still love you. And by the way, this is what it's about. Smack her on the ass. You know what I mean? Or squeeze her shoulder. You know?
Yeah, I did. I definitely did better because now we're on day 2. That's how long this is. I mean, this literally is like going on like as if it was like another emotional affair. Like that's how she seems to be on that same level of anger and yeah. So I don't know if you saw Todd or is his name Todd or is it
Todd? Well, we call him Todd, but it's Tudor.
Okay,
Tudor, I think. Yeah.
So he had posted something, and I thought it was hilarious. I was like, and I was kind of nervous. I'm like, she's gonna be all pissed when she comes home. I was like, I don't really give a fuck. I went and found that little flannel, fucking wrapped around my waist, had a little piece of that wood from trimming up the tree, and did it. I was like, hey, babe, I was playing lumberjack all morning. I've been thinking about you all day. Just wanted to give you my hardwood, and gave her a little piece of that wood. Yeah, she was fucking pissed.
Yeah, that's
I was just like, and I laughed. She was like, what do you think that's just supposed to fucking make everything better? And I was like, no, I was just trying to get a smile out of you, babe. It's okay. She just stormed back to the bedroom. I was like, okay. And I was good like all last night. It was this morning when she like did it again. I was like,
hold. This is really important for the mindset shift here. So I was just trying to get a smile out of you. This is you trying to fix it again. Now, I just like it better when you smile, babe. Because she knows she's not smiling and she knows she's being a little bit rude. So we don't want to try to fix that. We just want to remind her of where we're going.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Just a tiny level.
Yeah.
I think it's totally cool that you do things like that. I think there's timing and read the room. But here's the thing. If she's going to be in the dark room for a few days, well, that's right. As lords, we're not doing that. This is us leading, providing structure for where we're going. So you do shit like that. So I think it was a great move. I think that it felt right for you. And overall, you handled it well. What we need to discuss is how to move forward here. Okay. So
yeah, I'm lost.
Don't be lost.
Well,
it's actually.
Hey, can I add something in real quick that I kind of forgot about? So you know how when I left to go meet with my friend, she had got on the iPad, saw the message I sent to you and Ryan. So then this morning when I left for my run, when I came back, she clearly went through my iPad again.
Yeah.
Because it was open. I guess, if you could touch on that a little bit of, I mean, obviously, I feel like clearly she's kind of broken that, she's kind of violated a little bit of our trust. And like, I mean, she could have asked me about it. I would have been open and honest about it. So she clearly thinks I'm being dishonest about something or hiding something, and curious how I should handle this with the iPad.
She does or she doesn't. That's really just an assumption, right? No doubt she's insecure. The past emotional affair, she knows she's not meeting those needs that we talked about earlier. She knows there's been massive growth from you. That's a need that she needs to meet besides physical intimacy. And you now are implementing new things. And by the way, this was just your buddy Joe. This isn't even like I'm committing to X, Y, Z to learn, to grow, to give back, to build a legacy. I mean, we're talking when we go through the training again this afternoon, like, look out. You think she's running the side of your car right now? But we have to love her through that insecurity, because all of this is important for who you are. It's not just about when I talk about ambition, drive, focus, the man that she married, blah, blah, blah. Okay. This is life force. This is how you get to feel incredible no matter what goes on in your life, right? And it's how we show up and act completely different at home. We take home the Oscar, right? There's a reason why I give purpose after we've set up the rest. It's because it's pretty challenging, because it's also scary. If we started to do purpose in the beginning, which I've thought about it, but the problem is then we haven't learned to love her through it yet. And we haven't learned to make decisions based off our own core values. We haven't learned to stop happy wife, happy lifing, appeasing her, being available all the time. So it's going to get worse before it gets better. But what you need to understand is we got to love her through those insecurities. We're not worried. Dude, here, take my phone, take my iPad. That's what you need to be like. It doesn't matter. Do you want to put a tracker on my phone, babe? If that's what's going to make you feel better, this is not a long-term forever thing. This is right now. She is scared, dude. She's absolutely
But what brought it
scared.
back up? I mean, it's been years, literally 2 years. I mean, it's been probably 2 years since we've been over the, like I need to check on your phone, make sure you're not talking to some girl again.
I'll tell you why. It's because you've made, 12, I guess it's probably closer to 13 months ago now, you started to really make changes. Then you jumped into the reset and you completely altered everything, right? And so remember I say, and I teach, like, if you level up, she has to meet you. Nobody wants to change. Nobody wants to step outside their comfort zone. On a whole, nobody does. It's challenging. It's hard. It's scary. Now, what brings it back up is she knows that you are completely different. Like, Greg, you're expressing to me, to Ryan, I can hear the distress in your voice on a voice note, for example. But you're holding back with her, not because you're holding back and I don't want you to, but because you're trying to be in control of who you are, your emotions, things like that, and give her space to feel. Congratulations, buddy. You're doing a good job. She's got space to feel.
I would have blown up this morning a year ago. Or, I mean, I would have kicked something, punched a hole in something, stormed off, said, fuck you, you're crazy, leave, something stupid again, and started everything all right back over again.
And now, we don't have a safe container for her to feel anymore. That's our job as men. Our job is to let her feel. So, dude, what she's feeling is, so remember I say we don't want to talk about the past. We don't want to bring it. We just want to move forward. But part of the let her feel is there will be things that she'll need to get out. So for her, she just needs to know that she's a priority. She just needs to know that you love her. That's where the lover and the player doing a really good job, especially the lover, showing her that you love, value, respect her, adore her. And you're doing that while you're busy. But when you're with her, the player, the quality time, the most exciting and extravagant fun you can have, and I don't mean you have to spend money, just mean like you're just having a blast with her, right? Which seems a little bit like how the fuck right now. But dude, this isn't gonna last forever, right? Yeah. And you're going to have to potentially go on a date without her, start doing those kinds of things, right? And she'll have to start coming along if she wants to have fun. She's going to lose her shit. She's going to feel insecure. Love her through the insecurity. But don't let her hold you back. That's the point of what we're doing with your stage of the process right now. She can want to hold herself back, but she doesn't have to be holding you back. And when you step out, this is when you leave her back. It's just scary and hard for her. And it's hard for you because it's already been lonely, right? It sucks because you're talking more, you're sharing feelings. We think we're further ahead. We're getting close. We have this wicked date. And then she's like, no thanks. And that's the missing piece. So now what it feels like she's going backwards is because she is. This is where you have to continue to show up. This is where you have to show her, babe, you got nothing to worry about. I love you. We don't have to necessarily say those words. It might come up and it might not. She's going to be different from another woman. But what we can do is pay attention to what's going on. Her body language. If she's not talking much and her body language is, you make sure you're open. You're free. Hey, babe, I'm here. I got you. Something simple like that, you know? And then once we know more about where she's at, we might be able to play little games like, so we finally get out that she's feeling very insecure. She has to tell us that, you know? We might ask her, we might not, depending how the conversation goes. But then you can play little games like, hey, if you're feeling insecure, just tell me, hey, I love you. I'm insecure right now. And I'll drop everything and I'm going to be there for you, right? It sucks because we're all told you can't do that. She's got to clean up her baggage. Whether or not this is from you or not, no, more than likely this is from long before you, right? Past relationships, abandonment issues with her parents, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But this amplified it. The one guy who seemingly is still rising and leveling up. And then she feels guilty. She feels bad. It's going to be way easier than to look within. It's going to be way easier to go, hey, who you fucking? To look for the proof. So like the one bad part of that text was you and I think it was Ryan, you guys were talking, and it says, way to create the positive tension with you leaving, right? The trick with the magnet isn't to create the positive tension by leaving, right? The positive anxiety. Sure, that's more like the glorified dating advice. The trick is how you handle it because you had to go do what you had to go do. In this case, it was energy from a buddy, you know, good conversation and laughter, you know, but other times it'll be way more important shit. When she's not feeling like a priority and you're going out with a buddy, especially if she has ill feelings towards him. I don't know, but
she doesn't,
she doesn't. Yeah. So that's good.
No,
you know, if he's single, for example, if he's single, if he is not that respectful towards his wife, you know, any of that is going to amplify her fear, her insecurity. Does that make sense?
That's a good point. Yeah, no, he's a good guy, but I can see that. Good. Yeah, if you're going out with your buddy who, she's met and it's like, man, I really don't like that guy. And he's already been divorced. And you're like, that's who I'm going to have a beer with tonight, honey. Bye. Yeah, I can see
it's a bad choice. It's a bad choice, right? Well, because then you're going down that rabbit hole to fix it. Try to explain why he's a good guy, right? Like,
well, and I'll admit, I went back through and read the text and part of it I'm not proud about because it comes across, there's like this laughing emoji with like the eyes open, and I could see how she may have taken that as I was laughing, because it's kind of what she said this morning or last night. It was as if I was laughing that she was hurt, and I tried that. I was like, that's not what I was. No, that wasn't what I was laughing about.
So we don't do that. We have to be a little bit more assertive with our structure here. So you've done nothing wrong. The first thing you need to own is that, and then when you believe that. Right?
Oh, I believe it 100%. Yeah, I didn't do anything.
Ryan sent the bad message, as far as I'm concerned, the one that she read. Not Ryan's fault. It's just she went through your iPad. Okay? Now, don't go start deleting messages because you're not doing anything wrong. Okay? So, you're good. You've owned it. You've done nothing wrong. So, we got to provide the right structure. No. That's wrong. That's it. When she invokes curiosity, because she's probably not at first. She's going to keep shouting her assumptions.
There's no curiosity right now. It's just yelling.
Yeah. So you wait. And then when she says, well, then what is it? I don't care. He'll probably be cranky, right? Yeah. Well, then what is it then? Because you've said 4 or 5 times now, slowly, at the right time. You're just loving her through it. You're patient. No, that's incorrect.
Yeah, she pretty much just kept saying, obviously it is. And I said, that's when I was like, okay, we clearly can't have this conversation right now.
No, but you can. You could potentially, right? But it's you providing the structure, right? So rather than the earlier response of of us talking about how, listen, when you're ready, we'll have this conversation. I'm going to go for a run, babe. And you have that vibe. The other way is, no, that's incorrect. Sorry, that's wrong. Nope, that's not how I felt. You kind of just say the same thing over and over again. And then you'd say, when she evokes curiosity, you say, okay, you're assuming how I felt, what I said, and what I mean from a text without tone, and you have no idea. When you're ready, I'll explain.
I like that. Because, I try and take what you said and wrap it into the explanation without offering, it's like you're providing context and still providing her to let you know when she's ready. And this morning I kind of started with that, but then just kind of kept going into it. And then she blew up again.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're not, because it's not happening.
There's no point. If she's not
there's
open,
no point.
There's no point. So where this gets
she's not open at all. It's completely closed off.
No, and where this gets challenging for men is you just keep going and keep going and keep going, right? Or it's piggybacking off another thing that you can't talk about or whatever. That's not where you are. You've been doing a really great job with the program. So all we have to do is lead her. She wants to be down a negative rabbit hole. That's her. It's like Pete's wife. She wants to go on Reddit and support blogs with sexless marriages and abusive or whatever shit she's making up in her head. That's her problem.
Yeah.
We don't have to follow her down that rabbit hole. You provide structure. So simply, several times over, no, that's incorrect.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, babe. I love you, but that's wrong. You're cute when you get things wrong, because that's really wrong. There's all kinds of ways that you could do this. That's going to make her blow up. But the point is, when she finally says, and it will be probably angry, well, what the fuck is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was pretty much there, but yeah.
When you're ready,
I
can tell you, are you ready now? I'll explain. Right. And then you're not explaining what you did wrong. This is your opportunity to explain what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's faster than we wanted because she went through your phone. But that doesn't matter to me. Regardless, you are proud of who you are. You know what you're doing. You're doing nothing wrong. And you are there for her. Granted, we could be a better lover. Sure. We could definitely step up the love, value, respect, make sure she feels the love and appreciation. Granted, we could do some work with insecurity, but we need an invitation from her on that.
Yeah.
We all think we can fix the insecurities, but that's like our nice guy. That's like anger. No, she has to want to make a change.
Right.
She has to want to be a part of this. Yeah, she has to want to be a part of this. But that's okay. When you're leading your wife, she's not at the same step in the process with you. We just have to be a step ahead of her, which you are in your learning. So we just take her with us. So quite simply, at this point, we're just going to use the opportunity when she's ready to explain. The moment she starts to start blowing up, doing whatever, you provide the structure right there. Okay, I can see that you let her get through her rant. Okay, babe, I can see you're still not ready. So I'm going to go. But when you're ready, I'm here for you. Okay, babe? I love you so much. Okay?
I like what you said earlier, the we. I'm going to use the we. I can tell we are not ready for this. I like that.
We is safer,
Very safe.
It's
versus
like
you're the one with the issue. When you stop having the issue, then we can have a conversation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually way safer and smarter. Plus, remember, that's also providing structure as the team, the unit, right?
Yeah.
Regardless, when you finally get to have that conversation, it's quite simple. Babe, I love where we're going. I love everything that's happened. Don't focus on the fact that it's been a little aggression over the last 30 days or whatever. Okay? That's natural when she's going through this insecurity, watching you grow, knowing she's not, knowing she's missing some of this other stuff that she needs to, but that she needs to do for you to reciprocate this relationship, right? All natural. Yeah. So we're not focused on that. We're focused on the overall. We had a call a while ago and I was like, overall, aren't you happy? You're like, yeah. And we got you out of that rut. Same sort of thing we want to do with her. Babe, I love the direction we're going. The changes in the last few months, the closeness that we've had, this feels distant, but this isn't what's been going on.
Yeah, which is true. Yeah, that's how I feel, for sure.
Yeah, you share the truth. And then you can ask her, would you like to know why I'm starting to think about doing different things, why I'm getting excited about seeing a buddy or or whatever. Now, the hard part, the reason why I didn't want to do this yet is because it's just been a buddy that made this happen, not the rest, right? Having the real purpose in life, right? But regardless, you're about to be putting things in your calendar and we're about to get things going. And the reason is simple. Would you like to know why? She says yes. Well, as excited as I am about how things have progressed, some of it's actually quite painful for me. I feel alone in part of this journey. Not all of it. Some of it's awesome. I feel so connected. But some of it I feel alone. That's it. Shut up. Listen, start going through the regular training that we learned in the reset. Just let this conversation happen. Well, because that's true. She felt it. She had a great time. She might go back down the whole, yeah, whatever. Yeah, you want expectations. Maybe because she's still pissed, but really it's not even reasonable. Yeah. I just told you how much I love you and how much I love our conversations. You don't have to go explain all that. All this quality time we would have in this wonderful, massages and dates when we do get an opportunity to go. But not being able to kiss my wife is hard on me. That's really, you summarized it all in such a simple way without saying you're not there for me intimately on the levels beyond communication. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Pete kind of got me on that. It's like, yeah, we are intimate. It's just not the type that I'm looking for. Cause it's not that we're not intimate, but yeah, it's like, I don't remember the last time she initiated a kiss.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I can't even think the last time.
Yeah. It's like Catherine gets up and comes to see me at the door, not every day, but super excited. And I'm sure she's taken home the Oscar like I teach you guys sometimes, or gets up to tell me something like when she's proud of me, because I can't hear that very well. So I'm proud of you. She'll touch my face. This is the next level from the conversations you're having or the massage we do, right? It's where you're both doing that sort of stuff. So it's not that you're not intimate, but intimacy is on so many different levels. But she's I don't want to say she's throwing the bricks in the wall right now, because she might not be. It could just be fear-based, could just be super afraid of what you're going to do because she's not there. And it could all boil back down to needing to let her feel about that emotional affair. 1 or 2 times, probably a good long shit, this sucks kind of thing. It's what you'd be feeling inside. I have to do this all over again. But now you're doing it in a way where she can actually heal. She can actually start to notice, yeah, I don't know why I don't want to kiss this guy. I don't know why I give him a dirty look when he tells me I'm sweet and he's gentle with me and he's no expectations of sex. That is weird. I need to start looking within. He's been incredible. Why am I upset and getting, resentful over the fact that he's growing? That's a big fucking problem in relationships. And people do it in every relationship, it's not just marriage. But they resent somebody for growth instead of looking within going, that should challenge me to want to grow. Hey, babe, can you help me? Right? So you're in a really good spot. This is why I was like, do not worry. I know that positive tension thing in the big eye emoji, whatever, can look a little bit manipulative, but you are not. So do not worry. Do not try to explain. Nothing. You can answer questions. Oh, babe, I need to find things that boost me up when I feel alone. Is the final thought on that. I don't feel alone I don't feel alone when I'm with Joe. I don't feel alone when I'm teaching the kids in the group home how to fish. When I talk to them because they have no role models in their life, and I'm giving back, I don't feel alone. I feel empowered. And I'm making something up, but
yeah, no, I can see her asking that, and then or I can see myself saying that, and then her following up, well, why do you feel alone? And then that kind of gives you goes right back to what you said. Well, I feel alone because I'm yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd have to think about that more.
So remind her, because remember, she's insecure. It's coming from a fear base. That's why she's safe reacting to protect herself, right? Keep yourself safe. So remind her, babe, I love every step of our communication. I mean, so much has changed in the way that we're interacting, the quality time that we're spending, but there's parts that are missing, as you know. See, it's okay to say something that she knows if you let her know, right? As you know, there's parts that are missing, and in those missing pieces, I feel alone and I need energy from things in life that can help me bring back the energy that I want to bring here to keep this going, keep this forward momentum going, because I want more of it. I love it. I love you. I love the way this has been. Even our hard conversations are going better. I mean, this has been a rough one. You can kind of be cute, you know. I haven't been perfect handling this one, that's for sure. Right? You can own it. We're not going to blame her, but you show her that we can still build on everything and that there are so many positives. This isn't the old bitch fest that it would used to be. This isn't the normal. And if she starts to go down the road, you go, this is not how I'm doing it again. That's what we did before. It's not what we do now.
Yep. That's kind of where I was at this morning. I was like, it's just, and I felt calm. I mean, I noticed like a little bit at the end, kind of getting that build up, but like I said, a year ago, it would have been like, well, fuck this, then just fucking leave and thrown some fit. And it was just more of a, hey, I'm not, we're not ready for the conversation yet. So,
so just throw in more of the lover right now, right? Throw in the lover while you're going through these hard conversations. If you think about your lovers list, and you're thinking about some of these things that are so much better for you guys right now, right? Then you can throw in those compliments, those bits of gratitude. For example, I just appreciate you so much with the way you XYZ. I mean, we've come so far, right? You use that. It's the compliment sandwich, sure, maybe, but it's really a reminder, dude. It's providing structure of what you want. We are doing great. We're doing phenomenal. This is not you leaving her, whatever she's feeling. This is you making sure that you can bring every ounce of love and affection back to her, even though you're feeling rejected, you're feeling hurt, you're feeling abandoned, you're feeling alone. Well, under those circumstances, it's pretty hard to bring the energy you want. So, man, we got to go get it from somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
That's taking responsibility for you. That's being a man of power. She's not going to understand that necessarily, but it's important for you to own it. Okay. But if you say it in a gentle way, loving her through it, waiting for her curiosity, being patient to get through it and not trying to fix it, actually get through it. Man, you'll probably use this wicked opportunity to finally get over whatever she's got left retaining from the emotional affair without having to do years of fucking therapy and all kinds of other work and blah, 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 blah. Because she'll have her partner with her. Right?
Yeah. That's what Nicholas and I were talking about yesterday, that really this could be the catalyst to get over this. Because I do think that the emotional affair and everything that happened after that is really that's kind of what's holding everything back. I mean, she's still fearful of that, clearly, because if she went through my iPad, she clearly didn't think I was going to meet with Joe.
No, that's right.
She went all out. I noticed she went in our closet, and I had a bag. I bought her birthday's coming up this weekend. I bought her some stuff at the coast. Clearly, she had opened the bag because she's probably, what the fuck is this white bag? Probably opened it up and knew it was for her. So she probably felt pretty stupid about that. I just opened a birthday present. That was pretty dumb and insecure. I can tell she was on my iPad searching that girl's name that I had the emotional affair with yesterday when I was gone, like just looking for more things to just like sit in her pain. I don't understand why she would do that.
Well, that's what people do. That's the comfort complacency thing that I was talking about. Love her through it. Give her grace.
Yeah.
You got to use your super strength here that you have now, right? In your head, in your heart, and the direction you want to go to just get her through it. She is not doing a program like you. And this is perfect. This could be the catalyst for you guys to get over the humps. I'll give you an example, and I have to go have another call.
No worries.
But essentially, I thought I was through it, and I got so upset. I did not handle it the way that you're handling it, because all of a sudden I have to bring up these sexual assaults with she's bringing up sexual assaults with her, all the ways that I yelled at her, all these different ways I treated her, the things like when I was treating everybody else nice but not her. All these things came and surfaced again. And around the time that it parallel to what you're going through right now. But it was the catalyst. I couldn't get her to heal. So remember when I tell you guys that when I had to invite her and say, babe, I'm leveling up. If you're not going to grow with me, learn, get yourself into a course, whatever it is that you need to do to focus on your side of things, then this won't work for me anymore. I want to do this with you. I will support you in any way I can. Blah, blah. That's sort of the way it went down. What happened was that was after she was able to start getting her shit out. And now we're doing another phase of our journey, which is a more in-depth sexual side, right? Which is, it's bringing up some of that stuff again, stuff that we didn't even think of. She thought it was done. So I firmly believe that when we move forward, a lot of times, like you guys did after the emotional affair, what happens is we actually just sweep it under the rug. And then we think we have to go to therapy for 15 years or 2 years or whatever. We don't. We just need to let her feel and get it out. That doesn't mean you won't have things too, by the way. I did this wrong for a long time, but I had to really make it clear to Catherine that, like, the job sex thing affected me. Like, it affected me hard, man. And so I needed some acknowledgement about that, because she wasn't able to ever really acknowledge it, because she did it because she was afraid at the end. So much more of the job sex was out of fear, right? And so when we are in a safe place where we can both feel, i.e. sharing feelings, having hard conversations, they turn to regular conversations and it's not hard like this anymore. Dude, it's going to be so worth this work. So worth this work. But the rest of the time, it's the good shit, the gratitude, the love. And we watch how she's doing that with you, and we continue to bring her to the next step. So this could be it, man. The catalyst that takes you over the edge, man. That's what I hope.
I hope so.
But
I thought when she came home yesterday, we were going to have a good conversation, and it's maybe tonight, maybe today's the day.
And this is where we get. Last thing I'll say before I go is, listen. This is where we get into our old habits and fixer mode again. We don't need to. Just be patient. We have a lifetime. Right now, she's hurting, and maybe she's doing everything she can not to have the conversation so she doesn't say something stupid.
Could be, yeah.
Right? It could be that she's so afraid that you are going to just leave because she's not there yet and she knows. That's why I don't like to assume anything. That's why I want everybody to invoke curiosity. But she could be terrified right now. Fuck, I'm not there yet. And what if he does leave me? I don't want to have this conversation, because what if I say something stupid, like I always do? Because we almost all did, over and over and over again. Yeah. Right?
We always said hurtful things that we always regretted later.
That's right. So you're doing incredible, man. This is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. This is not as bad as you think. Just hang in there. We'll rock and roll. Okay?
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
You got it, man. I'll see you in a few hours.
Yep. See ya.
Okay, buddy. Bye.